How many people have you employed?
Currently, I employ close to 4,600 employees directly under me, and they're all Ugandans. The stadium itself is living proof that I've done it. Because you see, a stadium is something communal. Me and my family cannot accommodate and utilize the stadium. This is something communal. Yeah. Success and failure based on reason and reality. It's a realistic fact that this one is present. It's a realistic fact that it's going to be used by Ugandans, and it is a reasonable fact that it is a communal stadium.
You do charity work?
Yeah.
What kind of charity work do you do?
Depending on the prevailing need and circumstances. Like there was COVID, I came through and gave 500 million to the community to buy drugs for vaccination. So it depends on the prevailing circumstances. We are going for Ramadan. I've already bought a lot of things I'm going to give to different mosques and people, communities, to undo their fast.
When you hear the name Africa, what comes into your mind?
Africa is blessed with a lot of natural minerals. Africa is blessed with energetic people. You know, Africa is blessed with everything apart from inability for us to reason on how to exploit and explore the prevailing circumstances and available resources to us towards our progress and prosperity as a continent. The only missing factor in Africa is reason. Otherwise, God has blessed us with everything we need for us to make it. It will be unrealistic and unreasonable for any African to blame that we are not blessed by nature, to blame God that we are never blessed by nature, for we are fully blessed. If we can only reason out on how to explore and exploit the prevailing circumstances and resources we hold at hand towards our prosperity as a continent.
You made it in Africa, but an ordinary African is saying that it's not possible to make it in Africa.
But that statement from a reasonable perspective is wrong. How can you say that it is wrong? It is impossible to make it in Africa, yet there are Africans that have made it. It is defeated by reason and reality. You see, that is exactly what I'm fighting. Inability for Africans to believe in themselves. If I can do it, you can do it. What is the difference between me and you? We all have the same time in a day. We have 24 hours. I don't have any different. What do I do different from you that has made me prosper and has kept you in the state you are at? For me, I think it is all about, it's all in the mind. It all starts and ends in the mind.
I have a lot of Africans in the diaspora that watches my videos.
Yeah.
If you have a message to them, what would that message be?
No, Africans go abroad looking for better ways of survival, and majority will tell you they go for a living, which is a fact. But I can give an opinion on what it is in Africa today. Maybe majority have left because of the prevailing circumstances, like our weak education system that has made them believe you can only make it abroad, not in Africa. Like I told you, these are imported and imposed education systems that we are never drafted realistically to meet the challenges and prepare the African child with the equipment to articulately analyze and understand the challenges at hand and forge corresponding solutions. Maybe one of the biggest problems Africa has is our education system. Because you see, we are born Africans, but it prepares us into modern Western slaves, if I can put it articulately. Whereby by the time someone is leaving university, all they can think of is go and look for better resources abroad. And maybe that's why a majority of people living abroad. So if qualified engineers, qualified doctors, qualified nurses are all leaving Africa, how is Africa going to grow? Maybe we should start believing in ourselves, our origin.
I think most of them are also leaving because the systems in Africa don't really work.
You're an African. Are you an African?
Yes.
So why don't you first believe in the fact that you're an African? Identity is an element of reason. Understanding your identity is an element of reason. Saying I'm by the names of Hamis Kiggundu, I'm by such and such a age, I am a black man and I'm an African, and what can I do to improve my life and the lives of those around me? So, does running away from a problem solve it?
No.
If I'm looking for modernity, I should go look for it elsewhere. Have you solved the problem?
No.
Actually, you've moved to society that you're a foreigner in that particular society. So, and majority when they're counting, you're not even a citizen, you don't even qualify. That is why I decided to do the White House in Uganda. Let us struggle or strive towards achieving our desires in our motherland, instead of struggling and striving so much towards leaving our motherland. I know majority leave because of different prevailing circumstances. I don't want people to get me wrong, but from a reasonable point of view, that is a personal opinion, which may be a fact or not depending on the reasoning capacity of the reader, on the reasoning capacity of the person listening to me. But that is my opinion. Within perimeters of reason, self-identity is very key, and taking personal responsibility is equally key. So, whose responsibility is it to develop Africa and pull it forward? Is it for the Westerners? Is it for the Europeans? Or is it for the Africans? So if all Africans are leaving Africa, whom are they leaving Africa for? To all my fellow Africans and the world at large, to everyone listening to me, my message: if you get a chance to get hold of my two books, Success and Failure Based on Reason and Reality, and Reasonas, the word masterpiece, I would advise you to read it. For I'm not trying to tell you how much I've achieved, but how can we kickstart each other's reasoning capacity to make sure we make the world we live in and the African continent a better place.